put play here, there.
What's
Good.
the Kabbalah of the minute?
The Kavanah of the minute. No, we're going to speak about the time frame of our work. Meaning, like we spoke before many times, a big part of what we're doing in the Jewish meditation, when we are praying, when we're saying the brachot and so on and so forth, it's called levarer birurim. In the Kabbalistic terms, it's called levarer birurim. What does it mean, levarer birurim? It means that there is, like in Shabbat, right? There is borer. What is borer in Shabbat? We have a mixture of something good and something not good, right? Good and waste. And we separate between them. We're throwing away the waste and we're taking the good, right? So in Shabbat, we're not allowed to do that. But along the week, we're doing it all the time. Every time we're saying bracha, every time we pray, every time we do mitzvah, and even when we just live our life, as long as we're not breaking Torah, and as long as we're not doing something against the Torah, we are going in that direction. As much as we are stronger in our kedusha, so it is more effective. Okay? For example, someone that is working in a kosher work, is not bringing the Torah, brings parnasah to his family, it's a mitzvah, right? So he's doing birurim, he's sorting out between the good and the bad. Good. If the same person, while he's doing the same thing he does, he have extra kavanah, he knows the meaning of what he's doing, and he have the intention to do it properly, and he have the intention that what he's doing now is mitzvah, and he's doing it as part of his serving of Hashem, so then his birurim will increase. He will have more strength, spiritual strength, to elevate more parts of Kedusha, more sparks of Kedusha to their original place. Okay? That's basically what we're doing. So, as much as we're learning in those classes and whatever is your source of inspiration, as long as it's going in the right direction of the Torah, when you apply that in your life, whatever it is that you do, you have more strength to do more birurim and to elevate more sparks. Okay? So, Yosef asked a question about the meaning of time, the Kabbalistic meaning of time. So, the structure is very simple, but it adds up and it becomes to be complicated. So, we're not going to add it up for now. We're just going to speak about the principles. So we're starting with the biggest time frame that we can think of, which is 6,000 years of the creation. Okay? 6,000 years of the creation. Really it's 7, because Chazal said that there's 6, and the 7th that is like Shabbat, right? Or Al Macharuv. There's a different articles that is time of destruction, but that's not our subject for now. Basically, every time we have 6, so it's very simple. 6 correspond to the 6 sefirot. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. Okay? So, according to that, to this 1,000 years that we are holding, we are in the 5,000 plus, right? So, from the 5,000 plus, we are within the 6,000. So, the 6,000 is what? Yesod. Okay, very good. So all these 1,000 years is 1,000 years of the Tikkun of Yesod. Good. Now, if you want to break it more, so within the 1,000 years, you have 10 times 100 years, right? So 10 times is simple, 10 sefirot, right? So now we are in 5,700 plus. So we did already 7, and we are within the 800 of the 6,000. Yeah, you following?
Yeah.
So if it is the 800, we are within the 800, right? So it means we are in the Sphira of Hod. 8 is Hod. Okay? So we have the yesod for the thousands, we have the hod for the hundreds. Then we go in the same direction, and the 100 years breaks to 10 units of 10 years, right? And also there, we are in 5,770. So we are within the 80. We are working on the unit of the 80. So it's a hod again, right? And the year is 9, right? 5,779. So the 9th is Yesod. So if we want to speak about the meaning of this year, Kabbalistic meaning of this year, so we need to speak about Yesod, the Hod, the Yesod. The Yesod of the Hod, of the Hod, of the Yesod. Okay? Very simple, right? Great. So now we have the time frame of a year. So how do we break 12 months?
5.
So there is many things. One of them is the tribes. Okay, the Bnei Issachar speaks about it in length.
Constellations.
All of the years we have, like Sefer Yetzirah that speaks about it. We have many sources that explain the Kabbalistic applications of the year, the months within the year. There is different ways to do it. In this book which is my first book that I published, Sidur Ashkenaz. So in the back of the book, I have many charts that I put a lot of effort to make it that it will be easy to use, friendly user, as they say. User friendly, right? So whoever have it or have access to it here. So chart number 4, which is really few charts, it's all about this subject that I just spoke about. So basically we have the months, and every month is break down to weeks with Rosh Chodesh. Okay, so we have 4 weeks of the month plus Rosh Chodesh. Okay, so what that will be? It will be, if whoever is familiar with those concepts, probably not so many people, but Arich Anpin, Abba, Ima, Zair Anpin, Nukba. Okay, you don't know what it means, so let's give it the names of the Sfirot to make it more simple. So it's Keter, Chochma, Bina, 6 Sfirot from Chesed to Yesod, and Malchut. Okay, so Rosh Chodesh is Keter. I see Yosef is scratching his head, so it's too much. I'm saying too much. I'm not supposed to reveal so many secrets. Okay.
I don't understand that, right?
Anyhow, your question was about the day.
Yeah.
So forget about the weeks now of the months. Let's go down to the day. Okay, so every week breaks to 7 days, right? So we have Yom Rishon, Chesed, Yom Sheni, Gvura, Shlishi, Tiferet, and so on. Shabbat, Malchut, right? Shabbat Malkata. Why Shabbat Malkata? Because it's Malchut, right? So when they translate Malkata for queen, it's a little bit funny, a little bit out of the context, but there's a literal translation. Okay. Anyhow, so this is the day. Okay. Now within the day, if you want to break it more, so you have the 12 hours of the day, 12 hours of the night. Okay. Ideally, it's not even because we have summer, winter, whatever. But okay, whatever. That's okay. We're already speaking about it, so I'll tell you another few secrets that. There is the time of Gan Eden, then there is the time of earth. Okay, so in the time of Gan Eden, the day and the night are always equal. So we have 12 days of day, 12 days of night, 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night in Gan Eden.
I mean, that's how you divide night and day.
Right.
The Jewish,
And in our time of down here on earth, so we have the day that is borrowing from the night, or the night that is borrowing from the day. So now we are in the summer here in Israel. So it means that the day borrows from the night, borrows hours from the night. In the winter, the days are shorter, the nights are longer. So the night is borrowing the hours of the day. Okay, that's the way it's brought down in the book of the Rashash. is using this language of borrowing. It's a little bit funny to think about it as if they are like two entities, but that's the way he's describing it.
For halacha, you divide the day 12 into 12 every single day, no matter if it's longer or shorter.
There is a concept like that, but it's not exactly the way we're doing it. I understand what you mean now. Yes, you're right. That's the temporary sha'ot zmaniyot, temporary hours. How you call it in English? Temporary sha'ot zmaniyot? Do you have a name for that? Relatively hours, halachic hours,
Okay,
hours.
whatever. Anyhow, so you're right. There is a concept like that, and that is like the way to translate the
so
time.
It's always 12.
So it's always 12, even though it's more time or less time. Right,
sure,
right,
yeah.
right. Anyhow, so then we have every hour splits to 6 units of 10 minutes. Okay, so 6 again, same thing over the 6,000 years. We have Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, right? So you can calculate where are you within the hour, which unit of the 10 minutes, and if you want to break it more, so the same thing about the seconds, and if you want more, so there is a concept of tartaf halakim. You heard about this tartaf? It's 880 pieces of time within every second. Okay, so you break that's when we're saying the kiddush of the chodesh, not kiddush chodesh. When we're saying the announcing about the Rosh Chodesh in Shabbat, yeah, Shabbat mevarchim. When we're doing this prayer, so before that the Chazal is saying that the molad will be in that time, that hour, that so many pieces, right? What are those pieces? From the 880 pieces. Okay, so we want to make it very, very exact, right? So we go down to the details. So if you want to try to do the kavanot, the meditation according to the time, so you have to decide which time frame you're looking on, because every time frame it's a different calculation. Now, by the way, if we already got to that subject, the Ramhal, that I very, very admire his Torah, he said that one of the things that gave him the revelations that he had was that every 15 minutes he will do the yichud, the meditation of the time. Okay? So every 15 minutes he would have another meditation according to the time, change according to the time. So whoever is able to do the calculation of the time, it's a big thing. And then, to go back to the beginning of the class today, when we're doing the birurim, and we're sorting out between the good and the bad, and we understand how the time frame affect the birurim, so we are able to do the birurim of the moment, of whatever it is that we're doing. Okay? So it's not easy to do the calculation. So one of the many, many ideas that I have in my mind that I hope that one day it will be executed is to make like a calendar, like a diary, that you can look like through the day, because every day is different. So to look through the day like on the hour, and then to do the like quickly the calculation of where are you in the time frame, to meditate on that, because every hour have a different thing. And also, by the way, the zodiac, according to the Jewish tradition, the zodiac is not only a month; it's also the day and the hours within the day. So the 7 stars that there is, according to the Kabbalah, it's a little bit different in the non-Jewish astrology. But according to the Kabbalistic astrology, so the 7 stars are the same order, but every day it is starting from a different point. And it goes through the day again and again and again and again and again. Through the week, actually. So the whole week breaks to 24 circles of the 7 stars according to the hours of every day. Okay, so it's a little bit complex system to understand, but there is a few books that are written about it, and I started to write something like that in English, Kabbalistic astrology, but it didn't got printed yet. I need someone that will help me to proofread it, if someone volunteers.
Is it English?
It's English, but I warn you, it's very complex. It's not for beginners. It's like deep stuff. But Bezrat Hashem, one of the many plans that I have. Anyhow, all of that should be, like we said until now, combined with all of the rest of what we spoke. Okay? So with that, let's go back to what we were discussing yesterday. That we have the nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, nechida, right? And we said that we have the nefesh that is the closest to the body, right? Now, let's focus a little bit on that. Chazal says that the nefesh is within the blood. Okay? There's a statement like that of Chazal. The nefesh is within the blood. Okay? So when we want to understand what is our spiritual strength, the beginning point is the nefesh, and the nefesh is within the physical blood. Okay? So according to that, we can understand many things. For example, what is the meaning of eating and drinking? When a person is in fast, so something goes weaker, right? What's the reason? Because when the blood doesn't have all the nutrition that it needs, so the blood circulation is a little bit less. I'm not talking about the speed of the circulation. I'm talking about the quality. Okay? So then the nefesh, that is the energy of the body, will be also equal to that. So the nefesh is getting weaker, right? The purpose of the fast is to be strong in the nefesh, in our spirituality. But in the time of the fast, we're getting weaker, right? After the fast, we have the effect of that. So it's like, so they call it yerida letzorech aliyah. We go down in purpose to be able to elevate higher. Okay? Mm-hmm. And the same thing is also that we see that people that are getting excited about something, so the blood is rushing through the body, right? What does it mean when the blood is rushing through the body? That the energy of the nefesh circulates in a higher pitch, higher frequency. So that's why a person is able to do more, that he have more strength from the side of his nefesh. Okay? Now, obviously, it's not something that a person can ignore, right? That's who we are. That's the way that we. So anything that we want to do with our body, we need to have nefesh. And as much as we will be connected to that nefesh, it will be more useful. We'll be able to use it better. Okay? So that's the beginning point. That's the gate of how to go into the spiritual world. First, to connect to the nefesh. Then we have to connect to the ruach, nefeshama, like we said yesterday. Okay? But now I want to go deeper a little bit. So let's say we got to feel the energy of the nefesh. By the way, as far as I understand, all of the things, all of the people that are dealing with healing and all kinds of things like that, and like seeing the aura of people and all of those different things, it's all in the level of nefesh. It's all in the level of nefesh. And the proof is that also people that are not so great, to say the least, are able to do those things, right? And they have only nefesh, like we said yesterday, right? So it must be that it's only limited to the level of nefesh. To get to the level of ruach, that's a different level, right? So that's a person who have already to work on himself and to do tikkunim and to elevate himself to a higher spiritual level, and then the ruach, which is the level above the nefesh, will be function, will apply. Okay? As far as I understand, everybody have something of ruach, but for most of the people, it's not functioning. There's a certain channel there, but it's not really working. Okay? To make it really work, so we have to work on ourselves, and like we said yesterday, to use our speech only for good purposes and to guard our tongue as much as we can, and so on and so forth, what we said yesterday, and then slowly we're activating our ruach, and that creates the connection to the higher level of the neshama. Now another thing that if you remember when we do the meditations, so all the time I speak about the emotions, right? Why I speak about the emotions? We're starting with the physical body, the sensations, and the emotions. Why the emotions? Because the emotions are connected with the ruach. Okay? So as much as we are sensitive to our emotions and bringing the emotions to positive emotions, so that will also affect very much to our ability to connect to our ruach. Okay? So, for example, somebody that is getting angry all the time. Okay? It's one of the worst things that the person that is trying to develop his spirituality can have, because it's according to the result, basically a person that is angry, like seriously, that is like getting carried away with his anger, like full on. So basically he's losing all of his spirituality. Okay? When he's coming down, so it's possible to gain it back, but not necessarily. So the effect of the anger on spiritual growth is very, very negative. So, for example, let's speak about it. Okay, let's say someone is getting very, very angry. Very angry. And he's full of whatever. Let's not specify, okay? And let's say, God forbid, is about to do something with his anger. And all of a sudden, he hears a knock on the door. Who is it? I don't know. His mother, his father, his friend, whatever. He cannot execute what he was about to do, right? Can't do it. There's someone else around, right? Mm-hmm. So what happens in that moment? He becomes to be conscious of how it looks in their eyes. Okay? Now, that's a very, very powerful point. Because all what we're speaking all the time is about consciousness. So think about this transformation. The person is carried away with his anger one moment, and the next moment he becomes to be aware of himself. That's what happens to him. Okay? It doesn't mean that it will be like automatically that he will come down, but he won't be able to be in that level of anger, to be carried away with his anger so much. Okay? Same thing, by the way, with anything else. Let's say someone that is carried away with his lust and desire, and is about to do something. All of a sudden there's a knock on the door. Oh, yeah. So he understands that he can't do it, and he becomes to be aware of what happened to him and what he's doing, right? All of that, same thing, same process. So this point of becoming to be aware of yourself is very, very, very critical. Okay? Now, obviously, we want to be aware of ourselves without someone knocking on our door. We want to be the ones that are knocking on our door to become to be aware of ourselves without anyone else interfering with us, right? That's our goal. To increase our awareness of ourselves and our spiritual being. So, imagine yourself that while someone is getting very angry, while he's getting angry, he becomes to be aware of himself that is angry, and he have a debate within himself. The common sense and the awareness is trying to cool him down, and the side of the anger is trying to go full on forward, right? who will win? Okay, it's a good question. It depends on many factors. What's the level of a person? But anyone that you have problem of anger or other things, other negative things that he wants to deal with, so this moment of becoming to be aware of yourself, this is the first step to change something. Okay? Now, obviously, this moment of becoming to be aware, it's very similar to a person that is dreaming. And all of a sudden become to be aware of the fact that he is dreaming. Right? Everybody knows about this phenomenon. Everybody have it. Not everybody know what to do with it, but it's a known phenomenon that you dream and you're conscious about the fact that you're dreaming. So the same thing here. There's something that is carrying you, your consciousness, and the awakening is a higher level of consciousness that is observing, looking on that part of the awareness that is being carried away. With the dream, with anger, with whatever it is. Okay? So the fact that there is part of yourself that is higher and is observing and is looking over the part that is being carried away, that shows that it's not you that is being carried away. Okay? You is the higher level of consciousness. Okay? And that's what we want to connect to. We want to connect to our higher levels of consciousness. And obviously, as much as we'll be able to connect to them, we will be able to control all of those phenomena. Right? If you have a strong grip over yourself, so the higher is controlling the lower, and then the lower cannot be pulled with all kinds of things of the world. Okay? So again, to activate that ability, a person, one thing is to control our speech. Okay, not to say anything that is negative as much as we can. Another thing is to be aware of our emotions, to look on our emotions. Okay, and another thing, another level is to be aware of our thoughts. Okay, so for example, if we go back to the example of anger, let's say a person, he have very high level of physical self-control. So it might be that he's very angry, but externally nothing is shown because he's very civilized. So he doesn't show his anger. He's ready to rip off the person in front of him, but he doesn't show anything. Inside of him, there's a whole World War III going on, but outside everything is silent. Right? So what does it mean? It means that really is not controlling his anger, because in his head he's not controlling it. He's not able to stop thinking about the way that he's going to whatever, to his friend. He's not able. So he's carried away with his anger, but only with his thought. So there is something else externally that holds him, that it will not be shown externally. Okay, like I said, that the mother knocks on the door, or his friend knocks on the door, so he's not able to show whatever he wanted to do internally. But this is not this is not the self-control that we want. We want the self-control to come from a higher level of our consciousness. Okay? So when someone is not able to control his thoughts, it means that still is not there. Is not in that level of consciousness that we want to be. So we want to be even higher than thoughts. Okay? And like we said a few times, the thoughts are connected to neshama. So from that we get to the conclusion that we want to get to a level that is higher than the neshama. Okay? To be able to control the thoughts. So for example, let's say a person is carried away with some kind of negative thoughts, and then he's back off and he becomes to be aware, what I'm thinking of. This doesn't fit me. That's not what I want to think about. I want to think about positive things. I don't want to think about those things, right? Very, very good example that I think that everybody will associate with is when we pray. That many times a person, while he's praying, he finds himself with all kinds of thoughts that he is not interested to think about it right now. I need to go there, I need to do this, and all kinds of things. I want to concentrate in prayer. So why my thoughts is running here and there? So you are conscious of your thoughts, that they are not active in the way that you want them to be active. They are not going to the direction that you want to lead them. So you're not controlling them, but at least you are aware of the fact that they are not going in the right direction. So you're not totally pulled with them. So the beginning point, they carry you, and then you become to be aware that they carried you, and then you have to go back to wherever you were in the prayer and to connect again to the meaning of the prayer, right? And this is, I believe, a very, very known phenomenon for anyone that is trying to focus on his prayer. And all what we are saying here, in a way, the best place to practice that meditation, like I said, is while we're praying. Okay? We want to be able to control our thoughts. So, okay, so what's the way to do that? So for example, we have the meditation that we spoke a few times before about of Rabbi Chaim Volozhin, Nefesh HaChaim, that he says that while you are saying the words, you don't look on the siddur. If you have to know the prayer. But if you know the prayer by heart, so while you're praying, so try to see the letters as if they are written in siddur in front of you in your mind. Okay? So for example, you say Baruch, so you see the letters of Bet, Reish, Vav, Kaf Sofit. Okay? I'm not going to speak about all over the meditation according to the result that there is for the word Baruch. But just to get the control on your thoughts, to be able to direct your thoughts before all of the holy names and so on and so forth. Just to visualize the letters of what you are saying out of your mouth. Okay? And try that, and you see that it's very, very hard. Okay? It's very hard, believe me. It's very hard. I don't know. The truth is that I know about many people that know about this meditation, but I don't know about many people that apply this meditation. Okay? It's very hard. But it's a very, very good way to get control over your thoughts. And it's very
difficult. Like even to see Yud Kei Vav Kei, says you should see it in front of you always. Right.
But to see the Yud Kei Vav Kei, it's more difficult from other reasons, because it is so holy. So there's external forces that are objecting that. But to see the simple letters of the simple words without the Yud Kei Vav Kei, it's easier. Try it. Tell me what was your experience. Anyhow. Okay, when it's too difficult, so that's one of the reasons that I started with the Aleph Bet meditation a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, that we did the Aleph Bet meditation. So just to visualize one letter at a time. When you're saying the letter, you say Aleph, you visualize Aleph. Saying Bet, you visualize Bet, right? As much as, and then you're getting to the practice of visualizing whatever it is that you're saying out. Okay, and then the meditation of Rabbi Chaim Volozhin is, obviously it's much harder to do it, like the whole prayer is a lot of words, there's a lot of letters there. But start with something. Start with one pasuk, one word even. Okay? You want to say something?
starting meditation by focusing on your body, wouldn't it make more sense than focusing on something higher? Like focus on being attentive to your movements and to your, in general, to your body, how it's positioned all the time.
I whenever we did the meditations, I started with it. Right? I start with the physical body, the sensations of the physical body, the emotions, and then the thoughts. Right? That's basically the order that I go.
So I'm guessing it's much easier to be focusing on your body all the time than it's be focusing on your thoughts.
We are focused on our body. That's our default. When we're not trying to be focused, so we are aware of our physical body. It might be that we are thinking about other things, so we don't feel exactly what is the sensations of the physical body.
What I mean is, there's a lot of automatic movements, like the way you move your hands, the way you move your head.
Right.
All that. Shouldn't you be focusing on that? Like,
should.
To make sure that you're not doing over...
You should. Look, there is many... Any part that you're looking on, you can break it down to many parts and many levels, and to look on each one of them as a separated unit and to be focused within it. So there is endless possibilities and endless variations of how to move your consciousness. But basically what we want to achieve is to the highest point, right? But to get to the highest point, so we have to start with level A, with the first step. So the first step is the one thing that is common for everybody, and everybody are related to that, is the physical body. So start there, but don't stop there. Okay? If you want just an exercise, just to get used to concentrate and to be to awareness, okay, so that's fine. But for some people, they do all kinds of meditation that it's focused only on the physical body and the dynamics of the physical body, and maybe even they get a little bit to the energy of the physical body, which is the nefesh, but they don't go over that. So basically what I want to say is that in the Jewish meditation, this is only the beginning point. All of those things is the first grade. But you want to go higher and to develop yourself, so that's it. You have to build up, but that's the direction. You have to know that's where you're heading. That's the goal. Not to limit yourself in, like, just for that and that's it. Good. So let's summarize. What we're dealing with awareness. Okay? And the first level of awareness is to be aware of our physical body. And then the energy that is giving life to the physical body. And then the emotions that are already within, I wouldn't say within the physical body, but within our being. And then the thoughts. And then when we get to the point of being aware of our thoughts and looking over on our thoughts, that's already the beginning point of meditation. Okay? That's the preparation for the meditation. Then after that, then we can start to do the meditation. Okay? So all of those different techniques that we said about the worlds and the sefirot and this and that, and what we're starting in the class today about the time and the meaning of time with the sefirot and so on, all of that, really to do it like the way it should be done, it's after this preparation. After we getting to the point that is above the thoughts, then to start to get to those spiritual concepts. That's Jewish meditation, with the help of Hashem. So, B'ezrat Hashem, I hope that we will be able to elevate ourselves and elevate all around us, all the creation, and that everything will get more perfection and closer to Hashem. And blessings for everybody. Toda rabba. Bracha v'atzlacha.